The instant the eyes open, the test has already begun. There is no warning, no ceremony, no dramatic signal to prepare yourself. It begins quietly in that narrow space between sleep and movement. Most men do not recognize this moment as a battlefield. They believe the battle comes later, when pressure rises, when responsibility demands action, when hardship appears. That belief is why they lose before the day even starts. Weakness does not announce itself loudly. It whispers first. It asks for comfort, it asks for delay, it asks for permission to take control. In that first breath of the morning, the body speaks before the mind if it is allowed to. It asks to remain still, to stay warm, to avoid effort just a little longer. Many obey without resistance, telling themselves it does not matter, that they will act later. They do not see that this obedience is remembered. The body learns quickly. Once it is allowed to lead, it expects to lead again. What feels like a small surrender becomes a habit, and habit becomes character. To wake before weakness speaks is not about hatred of comfort, it is about authority. Someone must be in command. Either the mind gives orders or the body takes control. There is no third path. The man who rises immediately establishes hierarchy. He tells his body without words that command does not belong to sensation, mood, or desire. It belongs to decision. Many believe discipline begins with effort, with strain, with visible struggle. They are mistaken. Discipline begins with refusal to negotiate with weakness, refusal to wait until feeling changes, refusal to allow comfort to decide the course of the day. The strongest decisions are often the quietest ones, made when no one is watching and nothing is forcing action. If you hesitate in that first moment, hesitation follows you. It follows you into your work, into your training, into your relationships. It teaches you to pause when you should act, to question when you should commit, to delay when you should move. Weakness spreads not because it is powerful, but because it is tolerated early. I learned that readiness is a lie the body tells the mind. The body will never feel ready for discipline. It seeks efficiency, not growth. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort is avoided unless commanded. The mind must move first. Action creates readiness. Movement creates clarity. Waiting creates nothing. The difference between the 1% and the rest is not talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It is this moment, the moment when the eyes open and a choice must be made. Most men let the moment pass them. The discipline sees it. Over time, this changes everything, not because the act itself is heroic, but because it is repeated daily, relentlessly, without exception. There is a reason weakness prefers the morning. The mind is quiet, the defenses are low, habits speak louder than intention. If weakness wins here, it does not need to fight later. The day unfolds in its favor. Energy is lower, focus is scattered, resolve is compromised, all because of a decision that felt insignificant. Rising immediately is not about proving strength, it is about training obedience. When the body moves without debate, the mind sharpens. When the mind sharpens, decisions become clean. When decisions are clean, action becomes precise. Precision, not force, is what defines mastery. Some will say that discipline like this is extreme. They confuse control with punishment. This is not punishment, it is respect for your potential. A man who respects himself does not allow his lowest instincts to lead. He does not ask permission from comfort to live with purpose. He decides first and feeling follows. The bed is not the enemy is the voice that says later without consequence. Later is where strength goes to die, later is where intentions fade, later is weakness disguised as patience. The disciplined man understands that later is shaped by now. If now is compromised, later is already lost. There will be mornings when the body resists with force. Fatigue will press heavy, doubt will speak clearly. Those mornings are the most important. Rising on easy days builds routine, rising on hard days builds identity. Identity is what carries a man when motivation disappears. Do not underestimate how much power is gained by winning the first minute of the day. It changes posture, it changes breathing, it changes how you speak, how you listen, how you move through the world. Others may not see it, but they will feel it. A man who has already conquered himself is difficult to shake. Weak men wait for circumstances to demand strength. Strong men demand it from themselves before circumstances arrive. This is why the disciplined are calm under pressure. Pressure is familiar to them. They met it in silence at dawn when nothing was at stake except integrity. This rule requires no equipment, no audience, no validation. It costs nothing but comfort, and comfort is expensive when it controls you. Every morning you are given a chance to buy your freedom back from weakness. Most refuse the price. The few who pay it live differently. The body will test you again tomorrow. It always does. It does not remember promises, it remembers patterns. If you rise today and hesitate tomorrow, weakness returns with confidence. Consistency is the blade that keeps it at bay, not intensity, not emotion, consistency. You do not rise early to impress the world, you rise early to establish command over yourself. That command spreads quietly into everything else. The way you train, the way you work, the way you speak, the way you endure. This is the one daily rule because it governs all others. If you can defeat weakness when it first appears, you will recognize it everywhere. If you cannot, it will rule you invisibly. Wake before weakness speaks, and the day will obey. After rising before weakness has a chance to speak, another test waits immediately. It is quieter but no less dangerous. It is the moment when the world tries to enter your mind before you have decided who you will be. Many men rise from bed only to surrender their morning within seconds. They are standing yet already defeated, awake yet already reacting. They believe the day begins when noise begins. This belief keeps them forever behind. The morning does not belong to anyone by default. It must be claimed. If you do not take it, the world will. It enters through sound, through light, through habit. A screen glows, a message arrives, a thought borrowed from elsewhere replaces one that should have been your own. None of this feels like weakness. That is why it works. Reaction disguises itself as responsibility. Distraction pretends to be connection. But a man who reacts before he has commanded himself is not prepared. He is exposed. To command the morning is to delay reaction just long enough to establish authority, not isolation from the world, but order before engagement. The weak allow the first hour to be shaped by whatever arrives. The disciplined shape the hour first, then decide what is allowed to enter. This single difference determines whether the day feels controlled or chaotic, deliberate or rushed. Silence at dawn is not empty, it is revealing. In silence you hear the mind without interruption. You notice the restlessness, the impatience, the urge to escape stillness. Many flee this feeling by filling it with noise. They scroll, they listen, they consume. They call it routine. In truth, it is avoidance. The disciplined remain. They listen. They let the discomfort speak because it is instructive. It shows where the mind lacks control and where discipline must be applied. Movement is equally important. A body that does not move under command seeks movement under impulse. When you move deliberately in the morning, you remind the body that it follows. Breath deepens, posture straightens, the mind aligns with action. This is not exercise for appearance or effort for display. It is instruction. The body learns obedience before it has the chance to negotiate. The world teaches men to begin their days by receiving information, receiving demands, receiving opinions. This creates a passive posture. A man who begins by receiving is shaped before he can shape. A man who begins by acting creates a foundation that is not easily disturbed. Information received after alignment becomes useful. Information received before alignment becomes noise. Many believe they need stimulation to wake fully. They are mistaken. Stimulation fragments attention, clarity awakens the mind. The morning is the clearest part of the day if it is protected. Once fragmented, it cannot be restored. This is why those who surrender their mornings often feel fogged, rushed, and impatient even before the day has truly begun. They started fractured and they remain so. Commanding the morning also trains patience. Not passive patience but controlled restraint. The ability to wait without anxiety. The ability to move without urgency. Weak men hurry because they are already behind. The disciplined move calmly because nothing has been lost yet. Time feels different to the man who has claimed the first hour. It does not move slower, it moves cleaner. There is a reason the early hour feels uncomfortable. It strips away distractions that usually protect the ego. There is no audience, no praise, no excuse, only action or avoidance. This honesty is rare. Most men live inside distraction because distraction hides weakness. The disciplined prefer exposure. What is exposed can be corrected. What is hidden grows. When you command the morning consistently, the body begins to trust the mind. Trust creates efficiency. Movements require less effort. Decisions require less debate. Energy is preserved because it is not wasted on internal conflict. Weak men are tired not because they work harder but because they argue with themselves all day. The disciplined settle the argument early. The first hour teaches the rest of the day how to behave. If it is rushed, the day rushes. If it is distracted, the day fragments. If it is controlled, the day follows. This is not philosophy, it is observation. The day takes its tone from its beginning. Many men believe strength is shown by intensity. They seek to attack the day aggressively, flooding it with activity. This often masks lack of control. True command is calm, it is deliberate, it does not need to prove itself. The man who commands the morning does not rush to demonstrate productivity. He moves with precision, knowing that unnecessary action is another form of weakness. The world respects preparation, not intention. You may intend to be focused later, disciplined later, calm later, but later is shaped by now. If you begin in disorder, order will not appear magically. If you begin aligned, challenges arrive already weakened. Commanding the morning is also an act of respect for your craft, your path, your purpose. It says that what you are building deserves your best hours, not your leftovers. Weak men give their best attention to distractions and their remaining energy to their goals. The disciplined reverse this. They invest clarity where it matters and allow distraction only when it can do no harm. This practice is quiet. No one sees it, no one rewards it. That is why it works. Ego is not fed here, only discipline is. Over time, this creates a presence others can feel but not explain: calm under pressure, precision in movement, control in speech. These are not learned later, they are trained early. When the world finally enters your day, let it meet structure. Let it encounter a mind already decided, a body already awake, a will already engaged. Then demands become manageable. Chaos becomes navigable, pressure becomes familiar. If you do not command the morning, you will spend the day trying to recover it. Most never do. They chase focus, energy, and calm without understanding that all were available at dawn and willingly surrendered. Claim the morning before the world claims you.